Hey, family, good evening. I know it's late, but it's going down. It's going down. Good evening, family. This is Dr. Kia Pruitt. I know it's late, but I figured, we're used to staying up for the 11 o'clock news. That's what people used to do back in the day before we knew that the news was lying to us all. So I said, why don't I just come on and give a late night report before everybody goes to bed? Something to sleep on, as you go into the ancestral realm and dream. Good evening, family. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on wherever you're checking in from. This is Dr. Kia Pruitt. It is Friday, not Friday. Oh my goodness, it's Thursday. Well, Friday in the hour. It's Thursday, excuse me, February the 9th, 2023. And I tell you what, I am so energized now. Yesterday, I did four podcasts. So I was extremely tired. And I did that after I taught all day at school and did some counseling and some life coaching yesterday. So I was so exhausted. And I was honored to be on PPN News, the Patriot Party News. Hi, family. Thank you, Kathy. I'm so glad you're here. Kathy's our moderator. But I was featured on, not featured on, but I was a guest on the Patriot Party News on last night, and it was wonderful. I did leave that link for you all in one of the pictures of myself in the community section. And the reason why I just left a link is because we actually dug into some things that are going on that I don't think YouTube would like too much. So greetings, everybody. Greetings, Midwest and Texas. Thank you, Kathy. I love you so much. Hi, Leonard. Good evening. It's so good to see you all. Hi, Love Be In. Yes, please. If you feel so inclined, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel because we're over here raising the vibrations of the entire planet. I'm so excited. So, yes, I was on PPN News last night, and I was also on the Patriot Party News at PPN tonight with the ladies roundtable discussion. So I give honor and reverence and thanks to Gold Star Mother Susan Price. She's a beautiful woman that I just love so much. She has a lot of mama bear energy. She's just a loving mama type woman. She is an elder. Well, I consider her. I mean, because she has just a spirit of just love. Just like that motherly touch. And what a Gold Star mother is a mother of a fallen soldier. So her son was in the Marines, and he lost his life on a secret mission, or in the military, actually in the Marines. And so she's been on a mission and on a circuit to wake up the people and to love all those people that are in the movement, to raise the vibrations of the family. And she's kind of like, like the mother, like and when I say grandma, I don't mean like an older person, but I mean like a great mom. So I give honor to her. She introduced me to Prime Minister. Some of you know Prime Minister. He and I will be doing a podcast together. And she introduced me to some beautiful doctors and nurses and healers and people in the Patriot movement. So we're just going to do so much to raise the vibrations, family. Hi, Wally. Wallace, I lived in Portsmouth, Ohio. In fact, I was raised there. I was raised there from the time I was 14 on, and I got married there, married my high school sweetheart, and went to college first at Berea, Kentucky, and then in Portsmouth. So hello, P-Town is my home. It's what we call Portsmouth P-Town. It was a small community, and I was honored to be raised there. So thank you all so much. I was on PPN News. You know what? Before I did PPN News, I did the report with Sergeant Sovereign. So I did put that video up on my YouTube channel. I was busy last night, so much so that I went to sleep today and I didn't even get out of bed until like noon. And I'm usually up before the sun. So thank you all for being here. I love you so much. I don't know if you all know what's going on, but somebody is my hero. This man came out the gate saying that I promised the American people that I was going to take care of them and do something for them, that I'm going to give them vengeance. And that is none other than Representative James Comer, I believe he is, and he's out of the state of Kentucky. He is a Republican, and he promised that he was going to vindicate us. And my goodness, yes, he did. He said, I'm going to take care of this right after the State of the Union address. In fact, he said the day after the State of the Union address, I'm going to go after 46. And that's exactly what he is doing. Thank you. Oh, thank you, sister. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Sister Angela. It was my honor to be there. Okay, I will contact Mark Z. Thank you. So listen, family, there has been an investigation going on. Now, I know you all probably know that there's a lot going on behind the scenes that they don't really let us see at the forefront. But when you know where to dig, you can find the information that we really are about to experience a transition of power. So I don't know if you all remember, thank you. I don't know if you all remember no, I don't. This document that I showed you, and I didn't put this document up because I kind of felt like, for one, if I put it inside the description section, I didn't really know how YouTube would respond to that because sometimes, I mean, the bots and whoever's operating YouTube, that they can detect all type of algorithms. So I didn't put this in the description section, and I kind of want people to start researching things on their own, because I did have some people contact me and say, can you find that article for me again? Can you show me that document? So I don't mind showing people documents. I just want to encourage people to actually dig for, into some things for yourself. So I don't know if you all got to see that report where I talked about how the Department of Defense saying they were preparing for a presidential transition. So I'm going to look at that just a little bit to show you all that there's a reason why they're talking about this presidential transition that's going on. So this is the DoD Directive 5105.76. I'm not going to put it in the description section, so look it up, please. If you are so inclined, it's the Department of Defense Directive, and it was originated from the Office of the Director of Administration and Management. It became effective 2022, just a few months ago, actually August 30th, 2022. And if you pay attention right here, interesting, you'll see that the change date, or it was updated on February the 3rd, 2023. So Mother Price just really opened my eyes to some things. So I'm really grateful for this. And it was actually cleared for public release. They want us to know. The White Hat's desire for us to know. So if you look here, right down here, they gave you the clear purpose, and the purpose was to establish policy for a transference of authority from outgoing to ingoing senior officials. In other words, we're about to experience a changing of the guard, okay? And they wanted to establish a policy for that. Also, to establish a policy for the departure and arriving of political or certain non-career appointees, including presidentially appointed, Senate confirmed officials, non-career senior executive services, Schedule C appointees, and other officials. So they want a policy for how you depart and a policy for those who arrive. Also, this document assigns responsibilities for the administration and the management, and it gives directions of transition activities pursuant to this particular Executive Order 13727. So as you can see, what they are essentially saying is they are preparing us for a transition. And this is why I believe Representative James Comer is now coming out saying, well, actually, he said it earlier, that I am going to make good on my promise to vindicate the American people. So now that particular document from the Department of Defense came from, or is based off of, an act that was called, what is this called? The Presidential Transition Act of 1863. So let me show you this Presidential Transition Act of 1863. And there's a reason why I'm showing these to you again. And it's just to let you know that we are preparing for a transition of power. Here we go. Presidential Transition Act. I want you to see this because this is why the Department of Defense was able to create and release this document about a presidential transition. It comes from the Presidential Transition Act of 1863. So when I saw that document, I wanted to look and see what gave them the authority to do this, what was the background research, because I am a researcher, so I want people to have as much information as possible. If you look here, it's called the Presidential Transition Act. And basically, it was passed I'm sorry, I said 1863, in 1963. And what Congress explained was when you have a disruption, such as a transference of power, it could produce some serious safety issues for the American people, safety issues, and it could affect the well-being of the United States and its people. So they wanted to promote an orderly transference of power. In order to do that, Congress established a framework for the federal government to prepare for a transition from one president to another. So you see, there is a reason why they want us to know about this transition of power. There's a reason why they wanted us to know about this act of 1963, because in that Department of Defense article, it references the Transition Act of 1963. And I think that they just want to pique our interest and make us to do a deep dive into what's really going on, and also to awaken us. And so here I am to awaken the people and to raise our vibration. So back to Representative James Comer. An article came out where he said that he was digging into 46, his family, and his son. And he said not just the family, but particularly the father, because the father was the ringleader. He said that he was going to use subpoenas and he was going to use the House Oversight Committee's purse to handle this investigation. He said he's going to focus mainly on the father because the father was the ringleader. And he also said that he had promised voters that he would launch this investigation the day after the State of the Union address. So I want to show you that quick article. We don't have to read it, but I want to show you that this is real. So let me see which article that is. I think it's the USA Today article. Let me see. Here we go. So yeah, in the USA Today article, right here, you can see this is a mainstream media outlet article, right? This is not something underground, an independent source. It clearly states that this particular family, 46's hearings were to begin yesterday, February 8th. And I really wanted to report this yesterday, but I was so tired and so busy doing 4 podcasts. But so here we are today. They said, let me make sure that's not showing. So they said that this particular article said the hearings were to begin February 8th as House GOP probes this Twitter and the laptop. Okay, so here we go. This was actually published on January the 30th, and I did a report on January the 30th, but I want you to see that in this report, it said it would start on yesterday. House Republicans who assumed power earlier this month are holding their first public hearing on February the 8th to investigate this man and his family, including the son. So I have to be careful not to say the names because you all know. Thank you so much, sister. Thank you so much, sister. I appreciate your offering. Oh, I appreciate what you gave. God bless you with prosperity, peace, and long life. So it's happening, family. It is happening where they're actually doing investigations. And they want us to see this, and they desire for us to know this because that power, that administration, they're going bye-bye. And I know some people may feel a little discouraged about why this was allowed to happen, right? Why were they allowed to usurp authority? And the reason why they were allowed to usurp authority was to awaken the people. People would not have known about you know what fraud. They would not have known about it had this not occurred so blatantly. Also, whenever the ship goes down, the captain of the ship goes down with it. So when the United States Incorporated went down, as they were taking down the United States Incorporated or the deep state, then the captain of the deep state 45 had to go down with it. That's just what happens when the ship goes down. But we know that behind the scenes, he's working to actually demolish it. And he's not really gone anywhere, but he had to, it had to look like he had stepped back so that people can wake up and so people can use their power to usher in this golden era into which we're moving. So that's not the only article that talks about 46 and his family being investigated. Okay, we're going to go to a UPI article. This is an article that is published by this particular news source. Let me see. Here we go. And this is very interesting. Let me blow it up for you a little bit because this was actually published on yesterday. And basically, what this article says is that the Oversight Committee has said that Twitter and the FBI had colluded to keep this information from us, that they colluded to censor the story. And that's why a lot of people haven't heard the story, but America deserves to hear the story, Representative James Comer said. He said that not hearing the story was an attack on our First Amendment right, and that he himself was going to make sure that not only was this situation investigated and this administration investigated, but the proper people would pay a penalty. And he also said, and he said it, and I quote, accountability is coming. You got to love a man that'll say accountability is coming. So this was published on yesterday at 7:50. House Republicans launched a wide range investigation into you know who, his son, and social media bias. I like that they talked about social media bias and how he mentions in his article that Twitter and the three-letter organization that starts with the F and end with I, how they colluded to keep the story suppressed. Because if you remember, on December the 15th, which is the anniversary of the Bill of Rights, but this particular December 15th, 2022, President Trump, or number 45, actually signed what? No, he said he was creating a digital Bill of Rights law. And he said the digital Bill of Rights law was actually a law. And it's interesting that he said he was doing this, he was passing this, and he's allegedly not the president, but this would stop censorship. And he said he was going to rip censorship from the very foundation. So ever since he made that speech, December the 15th, I'm starting to see more things come out and mainstream. So here we go. Let's dig into this article just a little bit. Please keep talking to one another in the chat as I go over this. This is by Clyde Hughes. I want to give him homage for writing the story, but it says the investigations are being led by a new Judiciary Committee Chair, Representative Jim Jordan from Ohio. House representatives took aim at this particular family, you know, they call them the crime family, and big tech on Wednesday in a hearing on Twitter's handling of the news story. So what did Twitter do? They did all they could to suppress the story so that we couldn't hear about that computer, the laptop. They didn't want anybody to know about that. They tried to suppress all those dumps that were coming out. So the hearing entitled Protecting Speech from Government Interference in Social Media Bias, Part 1, and I'm not going to say the rest. You can see that their role in suppressing the laptop story comes after the new Republican Party majority last week started a string of investigations expected to run through the 2024 election. So they're saying that the investigations will go all the way into 2024. I personally don't think it'll go that long because I don't know if you all remember it, but I reported not long ago that somebody we know had gotten arrested. Do you all remember that? Let me show you this Let me show you this YouTube video that I did where I actually talk about his arrest. I call him Bye Bye Man. So in this particular video that I produced on when was this? January the 30th. Wow, on January 30th of just a couple weeks ago, I said breaking news, Bye Bye Man arrested, plus exciting Iraqi dinar news. So I talked about how the Restored Republic is a publication that actually announced that he had been arrested behind the scenes. And so I was just coming forward to talk about it. And it's very interesting that on January the 30th is actually when the articles start to come out that they were launching an investigation into him. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. May the creator bless you too. Oh, it's my pleasure to always bring you all the news. So on this, let me move this out. Thank you. And let me go back here. So on this video, I go into details about how they say he was arrested and how he had allegedly gone to Gitmo. But you all know that he's been gone a long time ago, and this may have been a replica of him or an actor of him, but nonetheless, it's starting to come out that he's a fraud. He's a fraud. So here we go. There's more I want to talk to you about. So then there was another news article that came out that says that this is an investigation into him and why he lied to the American people. They said not only did he lie about to the American people, but he was the ringleader of his family being involved in criminality. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a video of Representative Alexander. I'm not Alexander. I'm always talking about Alexander Mooney. That's what I'm thinking of Representative James Comer actually saying we're going to launch an investigation because he lied. He lied about the knowledge of his family participating in these international business schemes. And he goes into naming all type of schemes that Bye Bye Man was allegedly involved in. I'm going to let you hear a clip of that video so you can hear for yourself how they are literally not only just investigating him, but they're reporting on it. But mainstream media, I don't think they're bringing this to the forefront because I haven't heard it talked about at all. Thank you, EFIT. Oh my gosh, you're so awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's my great pleasure. Creator bless you with long life, prosperity, and peace. So here we go. Let me let you hear a video right quick, okay? And I promise I won't be on too long. I know everybody has to go to bed and wake up in the morning to go to work. So here we go, family. I want you to listen to this video because I believe I let you all see this before. I think I let you all see this. When was that? It just says 2 months ago. So I'm going to show you this video right here so that you can see how the Republicans are launching an investigation. Let me see. Can you? Oh, I can't make it bigger. So they are launching an investigation and they announced this. I believe this was probably also January the 30th when they announced this. So let me get out of here and I'm going to go to this particular news briefing when they made that announcement. So come on, Pruitt. Let's get out of there. Stop sharing that. And now I'm going to let you hear it. Thank you so much. I appreciate all your kind words. Let's see if we can get this up for you. Oh, this it. Nope. Here we go. Yes. This is going to be my favorite guy, Representative Comer. He's a boss right now. Oh my God. And when you look at this, look at the guys behind him, the lady behind him. I mean, this is serious business. They make this big old announcement about how we're going to go after this man. And he knew what he was doing. And he lied to the American people. He committed this crime and that crime. And he's a security breach. Yeah, so I'm going to shut up and let you all listen to this. So come on in, hurry up and watch this. Oh, thank you. Come on in, everybody. So I'm going to put it on mute on my end, and you all let me know that you can hear it on your end, okay? Here we go. He's done. It's a wrap. He's out of here. Okay. That's why the Department of Defense brought up or published that transition of power document. Remember, it also said that they wanted to make sure that we were safe, because when you have a transition of power, then sometimes the people can become unsafe and they can be targeted. This is what lets me know that the boots on the ground, or the National Guard that are on the ground, they're on the ground for all types of reasons, not just to make sure that these Antifa, Black Lives Matter types stay in check, but also to make sure that we're safe when they make this transition of power. So here we go. We're about to listen to Representative James Comer. And again, Representative James Comer is from Kentucky. He is a Republican Kentucky. He again said that he was going to use subpoenas and the purse of the House's Oversight Committee to handle this investigation. So I mean, they got lots of money to do it. He's here for it. So I'm going to push mute right now. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to let you all hear what he has to say.
Releasing a report today that details what we have uncovered. We're also sending letters to the Biden administration officials and Biden family associates renewing our request for voluntary production of documents relevant to this investigation. This is an investigation of Joe Biden, the President of the United States, and why he lied to the American people about his knowledge and participation in his family's international business schemes. National security interests require the committee to conduct investigation, and we will pursue all avenues that have long been ignored. Committee Republicans have uncovered evidence of federal crimes committed by and to the benefit of members of the president's family. These include conspiracy or defrauding the United States, wire fraud, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, violation of the Foreign Agents Registration Act, violations of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, violations of the Trafficking Victims Protection Act, tax evasion, money laundering, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. The Biden family's business dealings implicate a wide range of criminality, from human trafficking to potential violations of the Constitution. In the 118th Congress, this committee will evaluate the status of Joe Biden's relationship with his family's foreign partners and whether he is a president who is compromised or swayed by foreign dollars and influence. I want to be clear. This is an investigation of Joe Biden, and that's where the committee will focus in this next Congress.
So you see, this is pretty serious, family. Yes, he talked about laundering, money laundering, all types of crimes. He talked all types of crimes that the whole family committed, including the father, and how this was a security breach. This is serious. So it's happening, family. Thank you so much, Sister Michelle. May the Creator bless you with all the wonderful things in life that you desire and deserve. May you have prosperity and abundance forever, perpetually. So you can see that Representative James Comer is very serious about bringing about this and bringing about justice for we the American people. And as he said in this article that I read, accountability is coming, and I'll be emphatic in saying accountability is here. So it doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside or at the forefront. Things behind the scenes are happening, and the white hats are doing just enough to let us see it for ourselves, and allowing people who have a platform to make announcements, to broadcast it, and to show it so that we can help raise the vibrations of the people all over the world and encourage them and inspire them, family. So that is one of the main things that I wanted you all to see, was that 46 is being investigated. And his family as well, but he was the ringleader. I know a lot of people tried, well, I don't know if they tried to make it seem like, but they said it was the son's involvement that was something we should focus on. But usually sons don't do things that the fathers don't know about. So yes, accountability is here. So in other news, somebody said, give me some juicy news. Oh, watch clips from Congress. Thank you. In other news, we had a major arrest that happened, and it was a military arrest, actually, of somebody that's a part of that administration. And I don't know if I could say his name, but it's the White House Chief of Staff. I'll just leave it like that. Was not only arrested but sentenced to 20 years on Friday for I don't know if you could say the word because on here they're really sensitive, but it's SEDI. Let me see, I wrote it down. SEDITIOUS. So no, S. Oh yes, SEDITIOUS. Then the second word, conspiracy. Okay, so this man was arrested and sentenced to 20 years. I'm going to show you that article too, and I will be sure to put that in the description section so you can read it. So, family, let's see. I got to speak kind of quietly because everybody's asleep, but I'm up. So, here you go. This gentleman here was convicted by the military 2 days ago. A lot's happening in February, you see. Um, huh. It wasn't they, yeah, that was the day of the State of the Union address, right? Yes. Remember, I told you I said there, I said on that day on the 7th, I said it's the 7th and it's Tuesday. And whenever you have important announcements or something really serious happens, especially in the political arena, it usually happens on a Tuesday because Tuesdays are days of war and they somehow correlate to Mars. So I say expect some things to happen on Tuesday, not just the State of the Union address, but something else is going to happen. I didn't know what it was, but here we go. We see other things happen, and this is huge. This was from the Real Raw News. That is an underground independent news source, but I want you to see that this is a former chief of staff, excuse me. He was sentenced to 20 years in prison after a military tribunal at Guantanamo Bay found him guilty of this here. The lesser of the two charges leveled against him. So he had two charges, but he was only found guilty. I guess he was found guilty and has to serve 20 years for this one. And it says that he appeared alongside his counsel. And I thought this was interesting. It's not funny, but I thought it was interesting that his counsel actually said that he wanted to reject the tribunal and he asked for a mistrial. So he said, I reject the tribunal or commission. He calls it unconstitutional. And he asked for a mistrial. However, the admiral denied it and said, and I quote, request denied. So the gentleman said, this is improper, Admiral. How can I possibly refute evidence I haven't had an opportunity to review in depth? And so he went on to say how his client was smart, yada, yada, yada. And he didn't think it was fair. However, like I said, the admiral responded that he was denied and he still had to serve 20 years. I don't want to bore you with the details, but I will leave that in the description section for you to read, family. So we have another arrest. Again, for those that are just checking in, I see we have more people entering the chat. There was a former Joint Chief of Staff who was recently arrested. This is his name right here. Arrested and sentenced to 20 years in prison for seditious conspiracy. I'll just go ahead and say the word. So if anything ever happens to my channel here on YouTube, I am on Rumble now. You can just go to rumble.com, type in Dr. Kia Pruitt, Dr. Kia Pruitt, and you will see all my videos on Rumble. So you all encourage me to do that, and it's done, family. Thank you so much, Kenny Jackson. I appreciate you. Creator, bless you. Yes, thank you. I just feel so loved and supported. Thank you all. May you have long life and peace, my darling. So what did you say? This actor that was giving the State of the Union address was a different one, capable of an hour. He was capable of an hour and a half speech. His speech impeded as usual, but it was a different speech pattern. Also, it was a different actor. Thank you so much. So what do you say? See, guys, what do you say, Sister Kathy? They are showing the military is in charge. Absolutely. The military is in charge of this show. So I wanted you to see that there was this arrest that occurred and that 46 and his family is being investigated into. And in case you all didn't get to see it, I will show you the clip again because we have like 200 more people in the chat than we just had a few minutes ago. So I'm going to let you see how Representative James Comer is doing an investigation on 46 and how he spoke against all the crimes that he allegedly committed and how he was going to mandate accountability. And he said accountability is coming. So what else is in the news is, remember I told you all that the IRS is asking people to not file their taxes, to hold off on filing their taxes. And we were given like a whole lot of thoughts about why they would say this. So why is the IRS telling people not to file their taxes? Well, they come up with some bogus reason saying, that some states had gotten some extra stimulus check and they didn't know how to report that. I mean, it was bogus. What I think is going on with the IRS is that the IRS is actually being defunded. And we read that article on maybe yesterday or the day before, maybe 2 days ago. I talked about how the IRS was actually being attacked by the Republican Party because one of the first things that the GOP did, let me see if this video is going. Sorry about this. The first thing that the GOP did when they got in session was actually to attack the GOP. And they said that they are voting to demolish and completely end the IRS. And we know that House Resolution 25 was first introduced under President Trump around 2018 or 2019. And they said that the reason why they were introducing this House resolution or this bill was because the IRS was infringing upon our freedoms. So when that bill was introduced to the House, we knew that it was serious. So what we're seeing now in 2023 is that the Republicans are saying that they are monitoring the IRS and that they will dismantle it and that they will completely abolish it. Well, here it's interesting that this is happening at the same time where the IRS is stating that states need to hold off on paying taxes. And I did report that earlier, but what I didn't know is which states. I don't know if you all recall that because we were trying to figure out which states. And the only thing that article that I had said was they were asking millions of Americans to hold off on paying taxes. And they only mentioned Colorado, California, and I think they said Illinois. And then in that article it said and other states. So I was like, well, what states? I mean, you can't just say, other states. But here we see it's 22 states. The IRS is telling millions of Americans in 22 states to hold off on filing their taxes. And let me get down here and show you those states. Alaska, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, South Carolina, and Virginia, So those again are the 22 states. Here you go: Alaska, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, South Carolina, and Virginia. So those are the 22 states that they're asking Americans to not file taxes. But some people said they defunded the IRS a long time ago and they not filing taxes anyway. Doesn't matter what state they reside in. So I just wanted you to know that they are now naming the states. And the reason again that we believe this is occurring is because the IRS has to go, according to Nasara and according to just the Republic. When you think about the Republic of America, does not allow for the people to be taxed. So the IRS and a lot of these three-letter organizations are not federal. They might call themselves federal, but they don't have anything to do with our republic. They don't have anything to do with our government. They are unlawful corporate entities. They are a corporation. They have articles that they create. What do they call it? Like the articles for their businesses. They have to register themselves someplace. They're just a corporation. They're just a business. They don't have the right to tax people. So I'll see in a few minutes. I'll see if I can find that the article that says the GOP attacks the IRS. So you can see this for yourselves. Here we go. This was January the 23rd. And this was published in CNN, so you can know that this is real stuff, family members. Here we go. The GOP attacks the IRS, just so you can see that this was published on mainstream media. It's not an underground news source. They really are about to leave here. And you all know that Nancy Drew reports from the ground that that building actually is empty. The federal building is empty. So we know that they're gone. Nobody's in. No, what they say, the lights are on, but nobody's home. Here you go. This was MSN. It's published at msn.com, and this is CNN News. Let me make sure you all can see that. There we go. House GOP keeps up attacks on the IRS with the bill to abolish the agency. So they're about to go bye-bye. This is the real reason why they're asking Americans to hold off on filing taxes. And this story was just, again, published on January the 23rd. Oops, let me get it out of here. Within the first few weeks of the new Congress, a dozen GOP lawmakers introduced a bill that would abolish the IRS altogether and replace the entire federal tax code with a national sales tax. So separately, the House voted to rescind nearly $80 billion in funding for the agency that Democrats approved of last year, with many top Republicans repeating the misleading claim that the money will be used to hire 87,000 auditors. Okay, let's break this down. Here we go. So there was a new bill introduced, and this is coming off the heels of HR 25, which was to monitor and dismantle the IRS, and HR 24 under our president to monitor and get rid of the Federal Reserve. As soon as Congress came into session with the new Congress, a few or a handful or a dozen of the Republican lawmakers introduced this bill. And what they said they would do is replace the IRS with the entire federal tax code, with the national sales tax. If you all recall, under NASARA, the only tax that we will have once the republic is fully restored, our lawful government, is a 17%, I think it was 17% tax, on big ticket non-essential items. That's the only tax we're going to have in our new reality under NASARA. So you see that happening. Actually, they're admitting that NASARA is real. Then separately, they voted to rescind $80 billion because the Democrats, had allowed for this money to be set aside, $80 billion, to go to the IRS so that they can hire 87,000 new auditors. I don't know if you all caught my live that I did on the other day, but that 87,000 auditors are called criminal investigators, and that is the police branch or the military branch of the IRS, which was given a license to shoot and kill Americans whenever given orders if they didn't pay their taxes. So yes, so the Republicans had to come in and do some work as soon as they got in session. And so they rescinded all that money to hire all of these auditors. So what they're trying to do here is to make it seem like it was a lie that the IRS had agreed to hire 87,000 criminal investigators to shoot and kill Americans. But I brought up that article the other day, and it was disturbing. So see how they said Separately, the House voted to rescind $80 billion in funding for the agency that Democrats approved last year, with many top Republicans repeating the misleading claim that the money will be used to hire 87,000 auditors. So they make it sound like it's misleading because they only want to tell you the partial truth, but that was not misleading. That was true. We saw not only the announcement that they were hiring 87,000 criminal investigators, but we actually saw the job description of the 87,000 criminal investigators. So I showed you all that in my report the other day, else I would bring it up, but I don't want to keep you too long, where you actually can see and read for yourself that the article that said that they were hiring 87,000 agents and they had the job description. So I'll put all of that in the description section for you in this video. And so finally, I have been talking about how 42 states have repealed taxes on precious metals. So it's important. It's important to understand and overstand that when you put taxes on precious metals, you are not acknowledging that precious metals such as gold and silver, palladium, and platinum are real lawful money. So the people, Republicans had to do things like bring up bills, introduce bills to remove taxes from precious metals. And this was a beautiful article that we discovered not long ago, and I didn't bring it up. I think I need to. So let me find that article for you. So 42 states. There we go. Oh, it just pops right up. Look at God. Ah, yes. It's important to bring this up because usually when we talk about precious metals being money, we go right to those 13 states that have actually introduced or passed legislation to um, to make gold and silver legal, or to acknowledge gold and silver as legal tender. So I was looking for my notes. I found them right here. These are the 13 states that if you type in what are the states that have legalized silver and gold for money, these are the states that you will come up with. You'll come up with Oklahoma, Texas, Indiana, Missouri, Louisiana, Tennessee, South Carolina, West Virginia, Utah, Wyoming, Arizona, Kansas, and Missouri. However, we discovered the other day, and I did a report on that, that there are actually 42 states that have repealed the taxes from precious metals. And again, once you remove those taxes, then not only are you acknowledging silver and gold as real money, but it frees it to be used as real money. This is very important because our republic is being restored. Our Constitution for the United States, the Republic of the United States, it's all being restored. And part of the Constitution defines what can be used as money. What can be used as money according to the Constitution for the Republic of the United States? Two things: silver and gold. It explicitly states in Article 1, Section 10, that the only thing that can be used to pay debts are silver and gold. So the only thing that can be used as money are silver and gold. And and the Constitution for the Republic of the United States defines the dollar as a fixed weight in silver. So when you put those two together, how the Constitution defines the dollar and what can be used as money and what can be used to pay off debt according to our Constitution, it is only silver and gold. And I believe somewhere else I found that copper too can be used, but mainly silver and gold. So again, when you remove the state taxes from precious metals, you are acknowledging them as lawful money. Some people call it legal tender, but we call it lawful money because the Constitution defines what is lawful. The statutes and codes of the United States Incorporated defines what is legal. And that's why they're going through these processes and procedures to repeal taxes, remove the state taxes from precious metals, is because they want to go through the proper legality so that people can see that they are going through the so-called proper procedures. Because if the military had just come in and gone roughshod and said, we knocking all this crap over, it's, this military operation. We're taking charge right now. It's a new sheriff in town. This is what we gonna do. We're just gonna destroy the whole system. People would have lost their minds, right? Because they would have been like, oh no, they didn't go through the legal steps. They didn't go through the legal procedures, because we've been so conditioned to do things according to the United States Incorporated and follow their legalities and their steps, and have bills introduced and bills passed, rather than paying attention to the republic, the Constitution for our republic, our lawful government. Remember, I said that there are two systems running side by side: the Republic of America, which is our lawful government, and the Constitution for the Republic of America. And then you have the United States Incorporated, which usurped authority from the Republic. And they created their Constitution, which is the Constitution of the United States Incorporated. It's just a corporation, it's a corpse. It's a dead entity. It's a dead body. Thank you so much, Sister Linda. God bless you and Creator smile on you and give you prosperity and peace. So you have the Republic here, our lawful government, and you have the United States Incorporated, that was actually registered as a nonprofit religious organization in Delaware. And who owns that corporation other than the Vatican? Okay. So when the Vatican wrote a letter to Obama on July 4th, 2014, called Motu Proprio, and sent it by way of not the Vatican, but Pope Francis wrote a letter to Obama on July 4th, 2014, saying that it's over for us. He had the authority to do that because he owns the United States Corporation. So according to the Constitution, we have our own laws, but then you have the United States Incorporated. They're running concurrently together at the same time. So even though constitutional money is silver and gold, over here, thank you so much. God bless you. I appreciate you, Sister Lisa. God bless you. Thank you so much. Over here, the United States Incorporated has put into our heads and brainwashed us that we have to have bills and have them passed and have arguments between the Republicans and the Democrats, and they'll decide whether something is allowed. It's just a charade, okay? You don't have to go through all that when you already have the law of the land or the Constitution dictating what is lawful money. So thank you so much, Randall. Thank you. I love you so much. Creator bless you and smile on you. God bless you. Heaven smile on you is my prayer. With long life and peace, my dear. So here are the 42 states, just to bring that back to your attention in case you forgot how many states there were, or in case you didn't get to see this report. Why do I always do this? So this is what I did. I Googled it, and then I'm going to go out of here. I'm going to stop sharing that screen and get into the proper screen. That's not the one I want to go into. Here we go. 42 states have repealed the taxes from precious metals. Here you go. Nope, that's not it. Right there. Why 42 states have removed taxes from the purchase of gold and silver. That came out February the 5th, 2022. Nobody told us this, right? I don't recall hearing this in the news, which I don't watch TV, but it would have been on social media. I'm very active on social media. They don't want you to know that 42 states have removed taxes from the purchase of gold and silver, because they don't want you to know that we're moving to the gold standard. Who is they? The people that are in power, okay? Taxing the exchange of dollars for the monetary metals is an atrocious policy for several reasons. It says last year was a good year, okay? That was a 2022. Building on the success enjoyed by sound money advocates in Arkansas and Ohio, more than half a dozen states are now considering legislation that rolls back discriminatory taxes and regulations on the sale, use, and purchase of gold and silver. To date, 42 states have removed some or all taxes from the purchase of gold and silver, and there are new bills pending now in 5 of the 8 remaining states. So I'm not going to bore you with the details again, but I am going to put this in the description section for you to read at your leisure. And it just talks about these states that have repealed the taxes, why they repealed the taxes, and they talk about some of the bills that were introduced to repeal those taxes. So I just brought that to your attention so you can see that article for yourself. Thank you so much, sister. Thank you, Sister Stephanie. Oh, thank you. Creator, bless you. I'm so excited. I'm happy that you all like this type of news. So, again, when you remove the state taxes that are on gold and silver, you are freeing it to be used as money. Now, all of you over here know that all these nations have left the United States dollar, dropped the United States dollar, and fled to the gold standard. The first to do that was Putin. He is the grand chess master, they said, the great chess master. So when 46 put sanctions on him for going over to the ukulele, for cleaning out what's going on there, and handling 46, because 46 had a lot of nefarious activities going on over there, which is why he's under investigation right now. So when Putin did that, 46 put sanctions on him, then he clapped back and he dropped the United States dollar and went to gold for trade. Then he led the BRICS Union, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa to also drop the United States dollar and use gold for trade. Then Saudi Arabia left the United States dollar, which essentially ended us having United States hegemony. It ended us being the powerhouse that we have always been, because what made the USD, United States dollar, the global or world reserve currency was our agreement with Saudi Arabia that if you give us the oil, we protect your kingdom, and we'll force everybody else to use the United States dollar for trade. They will force them with the military. So the military backing us is actually what gave us the strength and the courage to have complete control over the world. So when Saudi Arabia left and dropped the United States dollar, then all these other nations fled, such that now all exporting nations have stopped trading with the United States dollar, and they fled to the gold standard. So it looked like we're out here on our own, like it's the East versus the West, and it's only the West. Only the West is using the United States dollar for trade for the most part. So it looks like we're out here on our own, but no, behind the scenes, 42 states have repealed the state taxes on precious metals, which will now make silver and gold legal tender. So you got to say legal tender, because they're going through processes and procedures according to their own constitution for the United States Incorporated. And it's important, again, to do that, because, again, two governments are running side by side, and we, the people, would not understand. They would not understand the military just came and took control, start knocking stuff over, throwing over stuff, throwing over the money changers like Jesus did in the temple. Oh, the people would have a fit, just like they had a fit when people went up into, the Capitol, where building they went into on January 6th. People had a fit, like, oh my God, the insurrection, this is horrible. But look, I was sitting up there like, do what you got to do, okay? Because according to the Constitution, if the people who are representing you aren't doing their job, you're supposed to go up in there and take control. You're supposed to establish a military, a militia. We have that power and authority, and knock them people out and take over and put your stake in that place. That's called the people's house. But we become so passive, so relaxed, that we don't understand or overstand our power. So again, there were 42 states that repealed the state taxes. What were the states that were left over? You have Vermont, New Jersey, Maine, Tennessee, Kentucky, Wisconsin, New Mexico, Mississippi, and Hawaii. Those were the only 8 states. But if you recall from the article I just read, there were 5 states that had pending bills to remove the state taxes. So even when I reported that the other day, that there were 42 states that repealed the state taxes, I was interested to look into those remaining 8 states to see if there were any bills introduced and what those bills were. And what I found out was I couldn't find any bills introduced for Vermont, and I couldn't find any bills introduced for New Mexico. But that doesn't mean it's not happening, because all the stuff is happening behind the scenes anyway. What I found for New Jersey, so that was Vermont, I didn't find any bills, but I found in New Jersey, I found Assembly Bill 5285 had been introduced. For Maine, I found LD 1446 had been introduced. For Tennessee, I found HB 1874 and HB House Bill 1857. HB just stands for House Bill. For Kentucky, I found HB 272 had been introduced. to repeal the taxes from the sale of precious metals in that state. In Wisconsin, I found House Bill or HB, what's that? Wisconsin HB 33. I mean, SB 33, which is Senate Bill 33. I didn't find anything for New Mexico. And then in Mississippi, I found House Bill 729. And then Hawaii, I found House Bill 1184. So again, and in fact, Mississippi had like three of those bills introduced. So let's go over that again. There. So 42 states have repealed the state taxes on the sale of silver and gold, which now frees silver and gold to be used as lawful money, frees it to be recognized as and used as lawful money, because according to the Constitution for the United States, that is lawful money anyway. So what I should say is it frees it to be used as legal tender. Remember, legalities, policies, procedures, statutes, codes, that all goes with the United States Incorporated. So anytime they say something is legal, that means it has gone through their steps and their policies. But the republic, the Constitution for the Republic, we already have the law of the land. However, again, they needed to go through these steps and processes, okay? So thank you so much, Brother Ed. Kia Pruitt at gmail.com. I appreciate you. God bless you. Heaven smile on you is my prayer. Thank you so much. KIAPRUITT at gmail.com. Hakeem, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I thank you all for all your love and support. So again, there are 42 states that have repealed or the state taxes on precious metals. And that means that they will be completely removed. The taxes will be removed from the sales. And remember, we're not going to have taxes anyway, according to NASARA, right? Because one of the stipulations of NASARA is when the republic is restored, no more taxes on anything except for big ticket, non-essential items. So let's just take a pause right here to thank the Creator, to thank Source, and give praise to Source, to all of those who are in the ancestral realm that are working behind the scenes to help us, those who have ascended into heaven, for all the angels, the watchers, the celestial beings. Let's just pause to say thank you. We reverence you. We acknowledge you. We give you praise, honor, and glory. And we appreciate you for helping to usher in this new, glorious, magnificent reality for us so that we can experience long life, sovereignty, prosperity, abundance, joy, and peace in the name of all of our ancestors, including Jesus Christ and all of the prophets. Amen. Thank you so much, Sister Michelle. I appreciate your love offering. You are amazing. May the Creator bless you with your heart's desire. Thank you, Sister Deborah. I appreciate you. I love you. May the Creator bless you too and give you the desires that you desire, that you want, the job that you've been looking for. May the Creator give you all the resources that you need to start any businesses and projects that you've always wanted to do. Thank you again so much. Who else? Thank you all. Infinite gratitude to you all. Infinite gratitude to the ancestors and to the Creator. Absolutely. Thank you, builders of our heritage. I appreciate you so much. May you have long life and peace. May your family members, your children, your posterity, and all those around you experience joy and liberation. So I appreciate you. Again, 8 states were remaining, and those 8 states are Vermont, New Jersey, Maine, Tennessee, Kentucky, Wisconsin, New Mexico, and Mississippi. Was that 9? So Vermont did not have any bills introduced. New Jersey had Assembly Bill 5285. I want you to listen to this list because you might be in some of these states, and you can do some deep diving to see what has happened with these bills that they pass. Or are they just on the table? Vermont, none. New Jersey, Assembly Bill 5285. Maine, LD 1446. I'm looking at my notes. Tennessee, House Bill 1874 and House Bill 1857. Kentucky, House Bill 272. Wisconsin had a bill introduced called Senate Bill 33. New Mexico, I didn't find any bills, but that doesn't mean none exist. Mississippi, House Bill 729, as well as House Bill 518 and House Bill 426, and Hawaii House Bill or HB 1184. So the reason why I brought up those states was because I found something about one of those states, or should I say, uh, one of my friends, I think was it Keith Moreau? I think it's my friend Keith Moreau shared this with me. So let's see if I can bring this up. It's about one of the states, Wisconsin. And I had actually talked about House Bill 33 a couple of days ago, but so it's interesting that they're bringing it up as if it was just introduced on. Let me tell you, by the time they report on the news, thank you, Jenny Mack. I appreciate you. God bless you and your family. Thank you so very much. By the time they report things, it has already happened. So oftentimes they're reporting things that they did a long time ago, but they bring it to the forefront when they believe people are ready. Okay. When people are ready, they bring this information up. Now, let me see if I can get back there. Here we go. Thank you, Jenny Mack, again. So, this was February the 9th. It says the bill introduced in Wisconsin House would repeal state taxes on gold and silver bullion. A bill introduced in Wisconsin state would create a state sales tax exemption on the sale of silver and gold bullion. By effectively repealing the sales tax, the bill would relieve some of the tax burden on investors and take a step towards treating precious metals bullion as money instead of a commodity. A coalition of 23 Republicans introduced Senate Bill 33 on February the 3rd. The legislation would create a sales and use tax exemptions for precious metals bullion. This defines precious metal bullions as coins, bars, rounds, or sheets that contain at least 35% gold, silver, copper, platinum, or palladium. Now, here we go. This is so important. Family, please, please, if you print this out, underline this, look at this, rehearse this so that you can know that Dr. Kia Pruitt is telling you the truth, okay? And or I don't know, just read this over and over. Repealing repealing taxes on gold and silver is an important step towards sound money. Repealing taxes, I'm sorry, on gold and silver is an important step towards sound money. Yes, because when you remove the taxes, it then frees it to be used as sound money and it acknowledges it as sound money. It reduces the tax burden on investors and it also knocks down barriers for people who want to use gold and silver in transactions. So there you go, family. I need for you to read that. I will put that for you in the description section so you can have it for yourself. Thank you, Marty J. I appreciate you. I honor you just for blessing me, giving up, your hard-earned money. That means so much to me. You don't have to do that. I'm just so honored that you think of me to give me a love offering. I love you so much. May God bless you and your family and grant you all your heart's desires. So I believe that might be it. That all the news that I wanted to cover. But finally, so family, let me see. Let's just Let's just wrap up and summarize the things that we talked about. We talked about how 46 and his whole family is under investigation, how Representative James Comer came out the gate saying that he was vindicating we, the American people, and that he was going to use the purse of the House Oversight Committee as well as subpoenas to bring this investigation um, to the forefront and to actually just to investigate the whole case, the whole situation. He said that he owed it to the voters and he had promised us to launch this investigation the day after the State of the Union address, which exactly what he did. State of the Union address was on the 7th. He launched the investigation on the 8th of February, but he told us on January the 30th that he was going to do that. I showed you his speech, actually the press conference where he spoke on January 30th and said he was investigating number 46. He also said that the FBI and Twitter had colluded to suppress all this information, that they were investigating 46. And he said that America deserves to know all this information. And he said this was an attack on our First Amendment rights, and that as far as he was concerned, accountability is coming. And I quote, these are the words from Representative James Comer out of Kentucky: accountability is coming. So he actually said in the press conference that this is an investigation into number 46. He said his name. He said he lied to the American people about his knowledge and his participation in some very nefarious activities and international business schemes. So I'm about to wrap up, family. I want you to hear that before we get out of here. I will show it to you one more time um, to hear for yourself what Representative James Comer said, and then I'm going to close out so we can all go to sleep. So I'm going to do this for those who may be just coming on, or maybe you wanted to see it again. And what I did for you is I put on, what is it called? Caption, closed caption, so you can actually read the words too, in case for some reason you can't hear it. And let me see, where is it? I don't, is that it? Nope, I think this is it. I think this is it, family. Oh, you're asking questions about the dome? Oh, you're talking to each other. Okay. Let me see if it comes.
We are releasing a report today.
Okay.
We are releasing a report today.
Sorry, family. 1 minute, 1 minute. So again, this was on January the 30th this year. I'm just trying to rewind it for you. I want you to hear him say, we're releasing this report today. So I'm going to mute it on my end, and I'm going to press play so you all can hear it.
We are releasing a report today that details what we have uncovered. We are also sending letters to the Biden administration officials and Biden family associates renewing our request for voluntary production of documents relevant to this investigation. This is an investigation of Joe Biden, the President of the United States, and why he lied to the American people about his knowledge and participation in his family's international business schemes. National security interests require the committee conduct investigation, and we will pursue all avenues that have long been ignored. Committee Republicans have uncovered evidence of federal crimes committed by and to the benefit of members of the president's family. These include conspiracy or defrauding the United States, wire fraud, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, violation of the Foreign Agents Registration Act, MIT, money laundering. The Biden family's business dealings implicate a wide range of criminality, from human trafficking to potential violations of the Constitution. In the 118th Congress, this committee will evaluate the status of Joe Biden's relationship with his family's foreign partners and whether he is a president who is compromised or swayed by foreign dollars and influence. I want to be clear. This is an investigation of Joe Biden, and that's where the committee will focus in this next Congress.
So that's it. That's it, family. You heard it for yourself. This investigation is going on. That press conference was around January the 30th, but as he promised, he actually started the investigation on February the 8th. And I showed you that article about how that investigation started on February the 8th, which was the day after the State of the Union address. So it's happening. I don't know what they're going to do to make it, to keep everybody's eyes off of that. But maybe they just won't allow the mainstream media to cover it. But you saw it here. You saw it for yourself. You got to hear Representative James Comer said that what he was doing. Must get him in a common law court. So, family, that's it. Yes, he's done. I really don't want to keep you. I will answer some questions for 5 minutes because I know people have to go to bed and get ready for work or get ready for their day on Friday. Tomorrow's Friday. So, we hope some good news come out on Friday tomorrow. If you have any questions, just let me know. We got 5 minutes, family. Is there anything you want to talk about? Anything you want, any questions you have that you want to ask, maybe I can answer them or people in the chat can answer. Um, so not for you. Yeah, I saw Thomas. Hi, Keith. It's good to see you. Good to see you here. Good to see Kathy here. Good to see all of our soul family here. I love you all so much. We are going to make America great again. Yes, yes. So, family, my work is done here for today. Oh, we have to pray for our sister Mary. Oh my gosh, your husband passed, your husband of 53 years passed January 31st, and you're in debt and you miss him. Oh, Creator, we ask you right now to come and comfort our sister Mary. We want to thank you for allowing her to be married to her husband for 53 years. We thank you for all the memories and all of the experiences that they shared together. And right now, God, we're coming to ask that you would be her source and her provider, her strength, oh God, her light and her peace. We ask that you let her know that you are with her and that you will always be with her and that you will never leave her or forsake her, that you are her God, her Father, her source, her protector, and her peace. We ask this in Jesus' name, and we ask that you bring her people around her who will love, support, and comfort her. In your son's most holy, precious name, we pray. Amen. And we send you lots of love, sister, and positive energy. And you know what? If you need anything that you can think of that we can do for you, then just let us know. We will do our very best. So our family members are saying that they offer their condolences and that they love you. They're sending you positive energy. I just love that. Oh, wow. We had a lot of people to pass on last year and actually from 2020 all the way up to this year. So many of us need that love and that support. And so I'm asking God to do that for us. And us all being here together is is love because we're all one soul family, and it gives us the opportunity to share our love and our comfort and our monetary blessings. So, sister, I can imagine it's a struggle if your provider is gone. So, put in a chat how we can that's what put in the chat how we can support you, sister. I have one more minute. I don't know if you feel comfortable leaving your Cash App, but if you do, leave it so we can send you a blessing. Because 53 years, you know, is a long time to be married, and to lose a provider is very, very hard. Because God gives us providers to take care of us while we're on this earthly plane. And then when they're removed, it's very challenging to figure things out financially. So if you feel so inclined, Sister Mary, leave your Cash App, please. It'll be okay. Yes, I love you. Remember that, Sister Donna Lee. Thank you so much. It was January the 8th. Yes. I mean 28th, yes, where my husband transitioned as well. Yes. And every time I think about it, I kind of tear up. I do. So I can only imagine what you all are going through. 45, uh, you look 45, but your body is 70-ish. So thank you. I love you too. We love you all. God is so good to us. Sister Mary, where are you? This is my Rumble address. Thank you so much, Keith. I appreciate you. If anybody wants to follow me on Rumble, that's my Rumble address, or you can go to rumble.com and type in Dr. Kia Pruitt, and you will see my channel. Oh, yes, you're welcome, Sister Mary. It's my great pleasure. My great pleasure. Um, no, well, I think they'll let us know when it's time to turn in our currencies. I personally think that the increase in millionaires is an increase that we see because, so for all you that don't know, on the US debt clock, if you look at the area of millionaires, you'll see it increase by the minute, actually. So I think that that increase may be indicative of the new millionaires that are happening because of them adding money in our quantum accounts. I tend to look at things on the positive side. So let me bring that up for you to see that I can't, I know some people are really concerned about that, but I'm like, no, they're putting money in our quantum accounts and we're all about to be millionaires. It's almost a rap family. So I'm going to show you that right quick for all of you who may not have seen that or don't know about it. And then we really do have to go. It is after 12. So where is that US debt clock? You can look at it, usdebtclock.org, I believe it is, right here. If you look here, US millionaires, 22,683,602. As we talk, you're going to see that number go up. So it's been increasing slowly over time or rapidly, depending on, who's watching. Some people think it's slow, some people think it's rapidly. How is it that millionaires are being made right now when everybody is struggling? How is it when inflation is increasing and prices are literally doubling right before our eyes? You see the number just went up. Well, one way to look at it, you can say that some people are getting rich while the rest of us are living in abject poverty and just trying to make it. Or you can say, what I say is that our quantum accounts are being full. And I think it was Mother Price who told me today. I think somebody was saying today that there was a person, maybe I don't know who it was, that had checked their accounts and they said the money was missing from their account. And they said, well, let me check your other account. And all the money was there. So, what's the other account? We all have what we're calling a quantum account. That is an account that only we can tap into, that is being monitored to make sure we only make benevolent or good transactions, not doing any type of trafficking, such as, what 46 is allegedly accused of doing. But this quantum account is an account that has our trust in it and the money that was owed to us and money being returned to us. So you'll see that number did increase. So now it's 22,683,604. So it's going up, family. Stay encouraged. The Creator is blessing us and doing some wonderful things for us. Here you go. So while people are sleeping, we are having our wealth restored back to us. Now, remember, the scripture says that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Number just went up again. And the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. So we're about to experience a great wealth transference, such that all those people who were in power that had all this money and they were trading on using our social security numbers and making money from our birth certificate bonds and stealing from our trust, so doing whatever, all this stuff, taxing us heavily, all that is being shut down, and God is restoring us our prosperity, our liberty, our sovereignty, our joy, and our peace. So, family, my name is Dr. Kia Pruitt. I hope that I've said something to raise your vibrations and to inspire you to create the most amazing, magnificent life that you desire and deserve. Good night, family. Rest well. I love you all so, so very much. I will talk to you tomorrow, Lord willing. And as my Southern folks used to say, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Good night. Peace. Bye bye.